Hi, I am Ivy Validor, Science 2B. Our topic for today is about the social foundation of curriculum by Alvin Toffler and Paulo Freire. I will be the one who will discuss about the contribution of Alvin Toffler, and Tricia Binyas will discuss the contribution of Paulo Freire in the curriculum. First, social foundation curriculum is the idea that society influence the content and structure of educational program. Alvin Toffler was an American writer, futurist, and businessman. So, he known for his work discussing modern technologies. When we say modern technologies, in this world, in this generation, we say that it is modern generation because we use the new implemented by the technologies created. Then discussing modern technologies, digital revolution. When we say digital revolution, it is the use of search engine. In this day, most of the students use an search engine, which is they develop the chat GPT, AI, Meta. It is the most helpful to the students for them to comply the project or the assignments that given by the teacher. Then, communication revolution with emphasis on the effects in culture. Also, Alvin Toffler influenced the how people think about the future. In in a in the past, the people never think about the future because they only think about what happened today. Then they are not aware for the new they're not aware for the new technologies, so they only use arithmetic. Then, but now, due to the because of Alvin Toffler, he was the one who will influence the people to think about the future, like um to have an to have the dreams in life to become a successful person in the future. Then also Alvin Toffler has made a significant contributions to the curriculum. The first one is the Future Shock. Future Shock was implemented or published in 1970, which is it is the first major book about the future, became a worldwide bestseller over and has sold over 6 million copies. So, Future Shock daw, it is naging bestseller ito sa panahon noong 1970 because nakapagbenta daw ito ng 6 million copies, imagine. Then, Future Shock refers to the disorientation and stress caused by the rapid technological, and social change. Ang Future Shock daw, it is the purpose of Future Shock is to distress or disorientation the individuals by not aware by the individuals who are not aware by the changes of the technologies. Then has been highly influential in the field of futurism, inspiring many other writers and thinkers to explore the potential impacts of rapid technologies in social change. Also, Future Shock daw, it served as the influential futurism. Then, they inspire many, writers and thinkers para ma-explore yung mga potentials nila when it comes to sa pagbago-bago kang technological. Then, Alvin Toffler also has a significant contribution to the curriculum. The second book is The Third Way. He published this Third Way on 1980, which is he foresaw the technological advancements as cloning, personal computer, the internet, cable television, and mobile communication. In this Third Way, he foresaw that technological advances. When we say technological advances, it is he's the first one who discovered about the before we never use the cable TV, which is ginagamit lang natin yung TV may antenna lang before. But now, in this modern generation, meron ng cable na tinatawag. Then, before, walang cellphone to communicate with other people. They only use paper. It also been a month before the person will receive the message. So now, his significant contribution to the curriculum is na-invento niya yung mobile communication, which is itong ginagamit natin ngayon tuwing nag-online class tayo. Then, personal computer. Actually, there are three types of three waves. Concepts of the three waves is the first one is agricultural revolution. When we say agricultural revolution, it is the wave began around 10,000 years ago and marked the transition from a nomadic hunter-gatherer lifestyle to one centered on agriculture. Then the third wave daw, ang kanyang unang naging technological advances sa agriculture revolution, before ay gumagamit lang tayo ng mga kalabaw just to, halimbawa in farming, gumagamit lang tayo ay kadalasang ginagamit noon ay ang kalabaw para makapag-farm ng rice. So now, in this modern world, there's machines na makina na machines na ginagamit na hindi na yung tao ang nagpapatakbo ng kalabaw. So they are may advances na yung sa pagdating sa agriculture. Then it is the improvement of technologies which is developed from the farming, domestication of animals. Pag sinabi natin domestication of animals, nagkakaroon na ng mga tirahan yung mga animals. Then ngayon in the house and in this modern generation, yung mga animals ay binibigyan na ng mga census kung tinatawag doon. In case man may mga nagawang halimbawa may aso nakakagat, so may babalingan sin data, may mga kad sa diri kay ito. Then emerge of villages and cities. Pag sinabi nating emerge, nagkaroon ng naging malawak yung villages and cities. The second concepts of three waves is the Industrial Revolution. Pag sinabi natin Industrial Revolution, this wave started in the late 18th century and transformed the world from an agricultural to an industrial economy. Pag sinabi natin Industrial Revolution, dito na na-invent yung the development ng mga factories, machines, and mass production. The last one is Information Age. When we say Information Age, this wave began in the mid-20th century and marked the transition from an industrial to a post-industrial information-based economy. Pag sinabi natin information wave, it is the development of dito na na-develop na yung internet, computers, and the global communication networks, then emerge the global interconnected to the society. The last contribution of Alvin Toffler is the power shift. The power shift, Toffler defines power shift as a fundamental transformation in the nature of power, wealth, and violence. Ang power shift daw po ay sabi ni Toffler, it is the fundamental transformation na kung saan it is the nature of power. Then the three forms of power is violence. Pag sinabi nating violence, it is used physical violence or physical force. Use physical force to achieve one goals. The violence po, ginagamit sila ng pag-abuso sa isang tao para ma-achieve yung gusto nila doon, kung anong gawin nila doon. Then, wealth, use and economic resources. Pag sinabi natin wealth, ito yung mga taong mayayaman. So, they are richest from the biodiversity. Then, the last one is knowledge. Use of information expertise. Pag sinabi nating knowledge, it is the information that acquired by the individuals, which is walang makakakuha man ito dahil ikaw lang yung nakakaalam. Then, that's all. Paulo Freire will discuss by Tricia Viñas. So, I will end this video, mom, because Tricia Viñas will also send the video about the Paulo Freire contribution to the curriculum. Bye.
Good day, everyone. I am Tricia Marie Viñas, and this is the continuation of Ate Ivy's report. Paulo Freire. Paulo Freire was a Brazilian educator and philosopher who is widely regarded as one of the most influential thinkers in the field of education in the 20th century. His work has had a profound impact on education theory and practice, particularly in the areas of critical pedagogy and popular education. So, Paulo Freire was a very important thinker and teacher from Brazil. His ideas was greatly influenced how we understand and practice education, especially when it comes to teaching in a way that empowers people to think critically. Here are some of the key aspects of Freire's work. Critical pedagogy. Freire's work is rooted in the belief that education should not be neutral or objective, but rather a tool for social transformation. He argued that traditional education system often reinforce existing power structures and perpetuate inequality. In contrast, critical pedagogy seeks to empower learners to challenge these structures and become agents of change. In Freire's view, learners are not just recipients of knowledge but active creators of it. They have the potential to be agents of change in their own lives and in society as a whole. Critical pedagogy seeks to unlock that potential by fostering critical thinking, problem-solving skills, and a sense of social responsibility. Conscientization. This is a key concept in Freire's work, referring to the process by which learners develop a critical awareness of their social reality and the ability to act upon it. Freire believed that education should help learners to read the world and understand the root causes of their oppression. Paulo used the phrase "read the world" to emphasize that learning is not just reading word, but about interpreting and understanding the reality around us. Dialogue. Freire emphasized the importance of dialogue in learning process. He argued that teachers should not simply be dispensers of knowledge, but rather facilitators of dialogue, creating a space where learners can share their experiences, ideas, and perspectives. Dialogue is about understanding different perspectives, not just winning an argument. Dialogue is connected to actions. It's not just talking about problems, but about working together to find solution and create change. Banking model of education. Freire criticized the traditional banking model of education, in which students be actively involved in the construction of their own knowledge. Paulo used the term banking to illustrate how traditional education often treats students as passive learners. In this model, teachers are like bankers. They possess knowledge, make, make deposits into the empty accounts of their students. And students are like empty accounts. They are seen as vessels to be filled with information, lack prior knowledge or the ability to think critically. Literacy. Freire's work on literacy was particularly influential. He developed innovative methods for teaching adults to read and write, which were based on his belief that literacy is not just a technical skill, but also a tool for social and political empowerment. Paul's approach to literacy education was based on problem posing. This involves presenting learners with real-life situations and problems that they can analyze and discuss. By engaging with these problems, learners develop their critical thinking skills and their ability to read and write about issues that are relevant to their lives. Here are some of the Freire's most important works. Pedagogy of the Oppressed, 1970. This is Paulus' magnum opus, and it lays the foundation for his entire educational philosophy. It's a powerful critique of traditional education, which he calls the banking model, where teachers are seen as depositors of knowledge and students are passive recipients. Education for Critical Consciousness, 1973. This work further develops Paulus' ideas on the relationship between education and social change. It explores how education can be used to raise awareness of oppression and empower individuals to challenge it. Pedagogy of Hope. This book is a reflection of Paulus' earlier work, particularly Pedagogy of the Oppressed. It revisits and expands on his key ideas, emphasizing the importance of hope and love in this struggle for social transformation.